Hi everybody, I'm Ryan. With Lord of the Rings, Tales of Middle-earth coming out really soon, I wanted to go over the mechanics in the set, explain how these, especially new mechanics work, and whether they're good or not. Let's do it. First off, we have the ring, specifically the ring tempting you. When the ring tempts you, you get an emblem named the ring. It's kind of like a dungeon where you kind of venture through it almost. The ring starts with only the first ability, but as the ring tempts you further, it gains other abilities as it goes down the card. So when the ring tempts you for the first time, you have to choose a creature to become the ring bearer. When the ring tempts you future times, you can move over who your ring bearer is though. So it's important to recognize this is not a creature type or ability, it's just a designation that this creature is my ring bearer. And that creature remains the ring bearer until it leaves the battlefield, your opponent gains control of it, or you choose a different ring bearer when a future ring tempting you. Now, every time the ring tempts you, it gains more abilities. Once it reaches the max abilities, nothing really happens. You just get all of those abilities. Now, the abilities are pretty good, especially if you build around them. I think they're more built for limited, to be totally honest. The second ability, whenever it attacks, draw a card, discard a card, might have some applications on like unblockable creatures or like hexproof creatures or something like that, which would be really cool. And then the last ability is obviously great when it deals damage, lose 3 life. But unfortunately, this is not standard or Pioneer legal. It's modern and then older formats and Commander and things like that. And while it's a really cool casual card and a very good limited ability, I do not believe that this is going to move forward with a ton of play unless it is just happens to be on another card that is very good and then there's also the ring tempts you. That is totally possible, but I don't think we're playing cards so that the ring tempt us in like Modern or Legacy or Vintage. The next mechanic that is coming back in Lord of the Rings is Amass. And Amass is going to get a little bit of an errata. Amass used to just mean you amass an army of zombies. Now, if it just says Amass, it means you get a zombie token still, but Amass is going to get a designation of what type of army now. And so we have Amass Orcs. Well, when you amass, you put a 0/0 orc army token on the battlefield, and then you put the number of +1/+1 counters equal to the amount of times you've amassed. So if something is amass 1, you get a 1/1 orc army token. Now, what's interesting about amass is if you do not have an orc army token, then you get one and then you get counters on it. But if you already have an army token, then rather than creating a new one, those +1/+1 counters get added to that orc army tokens. So for example, you get a sorcery or something that says amass orcs 1, you get an orc army token with a +1/+1 counter on it. The next turn, you play a creature that says Amass Orcs 3. Now, you put 3 +1/+1 counters on the Orc Army token you already have. So it becomes a 4/4 Orc Army. If that army token dies, instead you just get a new token and then a 3/3 army. Now, this is kind of cool. It leads to some cool storytelling things. It was kind of weird that Amass was directly related to zombies. It makes sense like amassing and like rising from the graves and stuff like that. But this allows us to like make it feel like giant battles and stuff happening, which is what is meant in Lord of the Rings. But I hope they like continue to use this amass mechanic and amass like elves or amass humans or things like that moving forward. It'd be really cool. Now, the rest of the mechanics in Lord of the Rings are returning mechanics. I mostly want to talk about new mechanics. But I'll go through these other returning mechanics pretty quick. 1, food tokens are coming back, things that make an artifact where you can pay 2 mana, tap it, and sacrifice it to gain 3 life. Land cycling is coming back where you can discard a card for a certain cost and be able to search a land out of your deck. Sagas, which are kind of becoming evergreen, to be totally honest with you. A certain type of enchantment that goes through chapters as turns go on and different things happen over time. Historic matters is becoming kind of cool, which would make sense with Lord of the Rings. A historic card refers to anything that's an artifact, saga, or legendary. And some cards that say if, you know, you cast a historic spell or something, which again means one of those 3 things, things happen, which is kind of neat. And then stun counters are coming back. The idea that you put a counter on something, and then it doesn't untap during the next untap step, and you take the stun counter off of it, and then it untaps the following turn. But those are the mechanics in Lord of the Rings, Tales of Middle-earth. If you like this video, and I think these videos are important, please be sure to like and subscribe. Check me out on social media. Links are above me and in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.